Hello and welcome. It is Sunday. It is afternoon. And while I might be at a friend's birthday party right now, I'm stepping away because I got to get through these edits. And it's July. I got Camp Nano happening. So thank you all for joining me. I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood. And this is my lazy Sunday afternoon productivity stream where sometimes we're lazy and sometimes we're productive, but we always have snacks. With me today, I
Exactly.
have the one, the only Doc Coleman. Say hi to the nice people.
Hi, nice people.
One day that will get old, but not
But
yet.
that day is not today.
Not today. So, what are you working on today? How has your week been?
my week has been chaos. Uh, a friend of mine has been
Oh,
having.
you've been helping with the moving.
I've been helping a friend of mine move stuff to make room for relatives who are relocating to this area and are going to need to stay with her for a while. Um, so I've been doing a lot of that and not nearly enough editing, which is to say, not since last Sunday. But and I also managed to overdo it, and my back is still sore from it. But I'm
Oh
feeling well enough
no.
today that that I am here to write, mostly because I know that if I really need to, I can shift back and uh, uh, get the back support from the couch. So, but so I'm diving once more into edits of the Kindred of Kali, trying to see if I can make what is it make my way through the third chapter and no, I'm sorry, through the fourth chapter. I've made more progress than I
Ooh,
thought last week.
nice. I'm glad to hear it. So, I am working on my space fantasy, and weekend before last weekend, I moved a lot of chapters around,
Hmm.
particularly one particular character's storyline to try and better match the pacing of the other storylines. And then I had to, so I got wanted to get through 25 pages, got through 36, but they were a hot mess and needed rereading to make sure that like I'd moved things so things happen
Hmm.
sequentially rather than jumping around just because I swapped the chapters. So I got through that. And then there's one major revision note that I had been given that was like almost the entire motivation for this entire round of revisions, but I had to work my way up to it. And I
Hmm.
did it Friday night. I added
Nice.
about 3 pages, and so instead of bribing the Baba Yaga character, we are instead doing a standoff against them where the main character faces her fears rather than having her second be like, "Here's some money," or
Okay.
ether pearls in this case. So it's a lot more of a confrontation, and it means that she's, hey, wait. Nature doesn't just destroy if you stand up to it. Sometimes you can persevere. So it's like part of her emotional growth as a character. And this way, she's part of the confrontation. So now
Hmm.
I just need to do that for my other secondary character, where instead of going around her mom's back and just saying, we're doing this without you, she actually has that discussion on page with her mother. So that's coming up. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But that's where I
Wait.
am. Very exciting. Turning my climax into things happening on the page rather than things talked about because they happened off the page.
Isn't this character's mother dead?
Three characters. We
Okay,
have
wrong
our
character. Wrong
human
character. Okay.
human space navigator. We have her cousin who is dealing with her mother trying to matchmake for her and having broken
Mhm.
up her previous relationship and her learning to
Ah,
stand up to her mother. And then we have our alien space captain who is not happy that nature is a killer. Um, Learning that,
okay.
you are unsafe no matter where you go. And sometimes facing your fears helps you, move past that and you do what you can and move on from there.
Okay. So
So
no, I heard Baba Yaga and I jumped stories.
yeah,
So you're working on
no,
your
same story.
are you working on the space fantasy or
Space fantasy.
okay? No, I jumped stories because I jumped to the other story you talked about where the woman had inherited a house and had to get roommates and they were all turning into to
Oh no,
all
that's my
turning out to be
suburban
cryptids.
fantasy. That's a suburban
Yeah,
fantasy, and that's a
yeah.
hot mess. And I want to get this one querying. This is getting
Okay.
into the trenches before I go back to that. That one may need to be completely rewritten from scratch, or maybe I can salvage some. I might try it this nano, unsure. But yeah, no,
So she's
that's a hot mess.
confronting space Baba Yaga. So okay, so
Yes.
uh, uh
Well, giant non not actually an octopus baba yaga, but yes, they have to clean and whatever 4 tasks before they can go.
okay.
So
So somehow confronting space Baba Yaga seems somewhat more doable than confronting traditional Baba Yaga. But
I mean, it depends if you follow the rules and call her out on her own
mhm,
hypocrisy. So
yeah,
yeah, bribing baba yaga did not work, was not supposed to work, so I had to take that out. So popping into the comments, Red Spy Red X is here. Hello, Jacob. Good to have you. We have Maggie. Hello and welcome. Oh, Maggie's dealing with a migraine today, so is lurking
mm,
and listening while editing and working on a camp. No, Edmo. Well, I'm basically Edmo too. So, Jennifer, hello and welcome. And just saw my Insta post. There it is. Yeah, with the link. Bloop. Let's see. Jennifer and the rest of us hope Maggie is feeling better soon. Hello, Desdemona is agreeing that migraines are in fact the worst and hope it doesn't stick around for long. Yeah. Our weather has been threatening a thunderstorm all day, which is
yeah.
really bad for
We,
anyone who gets that type of headache.
the thunderstorm has been moving through here, so if I should suddenly disappear, I may have lost power or
Ah,
internet or
it
both.
still hasn't hit here. Like I'm at a friend's birthday party right now and I'm stealing their home office. These are actual weapons. This is not a virtual background. But yeah, the pool part of the party was canceled on account of the thunderstorms that have not shown up, but it did sprinkle. So who knows? Jacob is reacting to Tangled. Sounds like he enjoyed watching that. So that's awesome.
Mhm.
Patrick, hello. Patrick waves queerly. He's hist-ficking along for a contest. So he's working on a historical fiction.
Okay, thank you for the translation because that was going somewhere else.
I believe you misread. Perhaps some of those letters
Yes,
swapped on you or something.
yeah, something
Hello,
like that.
Andy. Andy is here and says that's a lot of weapons. And I say, you should see the rest of the house. It is
Now I want to see the rest of the house.
it is not child friendly. In fact, it is actively child hostile. Luckily, you are not a child. So,
Yes.
uh,
So and I know the people that live there, so maybe someday I'll get to go down there and
could
visit.
do, could do. Patrick says obligatory and my axe
Yes.
comment. I had friends who did that during their wedding vows. You'll have my bow and I'll
My
give you my
sword, my
axe.
bow, and my
Yeah, it was great. So what's everybody working on today? I'm obviously working on my space fantasy. Doc is working on chapter 4 of
Yep.
his. Is this book 2 or book 3?
This is book 2.
Okay.
Book 3 is having a good lie down.
Why did I think book 2 was almost published? Wasn't that supposed to come out in
because
October?
this is the final revisions before I'm
Uh,
gonna well, hopefully it's the final revision. This is the editor's pass, and when I'm done with it, I hope to get the editor to
okay.
take another look to make sure I haven't screwed up anything I was trying to fix.
So
And then I
it
go,
sounds It sounds like this was a developmental edit, not a copy line edit.
Um, it was meant to be a copy line edit. She's brought up some developmental questions, some of which are like, "Didn't you just see that? It's right there," and others are like, "Oh, good point. I should put that in there." So,
Legit, legit.
yep.
So, okay. Let's see. Andy says, "And my axe," and plays guitar riff. Diddly, diddly, diddly. Wait, there's no needlies in that song.
Not
Andy is
unless you're
working.
playing Wild Stallions.
Great. Andy is working on a short story, as always. Andy, do you write long fiction, or do you only do productivity sprints during short fiction? I don't
I'm
know.
I'm pretty sure he does both, but he pumps
Yeah.
out a lot of short fiction to get his name out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and Desdemona is finishing up a chapter rewrite and then giving an edit slash editing more scene details because there are not many. So, okay. Doc was right, and he does indeed do both. Something, something, he goes both ways. Okay.
Yeah, he writes both ways. No.
I've had to admit I'm a poet, so, and I can't do speculative poetry. I don't know why, but speculative poetry just doesn't work for me. But that's all I write when I write long, so it's weird. But I can't write like non-fantastic long stories. So it's weird. And my short stories end
may
up a
all
little
your
bit of horror, but they can
may
be
all your long
fantasy.
stories be fantastic. No.
Aww. Let's see. Andy plan. Oops, I bounced it. Okay. The Andy plan. Crank out short fiction. Try to get my name out there and recognized. Work on novels in the background.
It's a
Because
very,
everybody
very
knows
traditional
short.
plan.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, so what do you say we do some writing?
That would like almost make sense. It's like the whole reason we're here.
What craziness! Oh my goodness. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do a sprint. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, boom. Chaka laka laka laka. Laka. Laka.
Laka.
And we're back. How was your sprint?
Um, I got a few paragraphs done. Not up to speed yet.
I hear ya. Remember how I said all these chapters I'd rearranged and I'd smoothed out? No,
Mhm.
no, no, I hadn't. So I read through 2 of them, and now I'm smoothing out the next one, and then I'll be able to move forward. And I might hit the 50-page mark today,
That'd be nice.
right?
Yeah.
So, but not if I have to keep doubling back.
Yeah.
Shake fist, shake fist. So, popping into the comments. Let's see what we got
I think
here.
we had a lot of comments.
Hello, Wordsmith Sarah. Sarah's here. She's working on an ad for her podcast, so video editing. Um, I Ashley Black
Okay.
Eiling. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your
Aisling.
name.
I think it's
Aisling.
Aisling.
Okay, Aisling. Happy productivity to you as well, and welcome. I'm sorry, I'm horrible with names. Let's see. Sarah finished the ad and sent it off to the co-host before the sprint ended. Oh yeah.
Nice.
And Jacob said hi to Sarah. And oh no, Sarah already found a problem with the ad. Oh, I hate
Oh,
when that happens. I mean, everybody knows the best way to find a typo is to hit send
yep.
or
Works every time.
publish. So, ooh, nice. Desdemona got through, added 219 words despite being
Mhm.
distracted at the start of the sprint. Awesome. And let's see, Andy did some edits before digging into another 200 words. He's got to crank things up for dinner. And also, woo, video editing. I hear you. Sarah, I might shoot you a question. I try to have like a preview video with some free available online music, and I kept getting copyright claims but not strikes because yes, I was using their music, and I'm not sure how to. But if you get too many of those, then they take away your channel, and I don't want to risk my channel. So what am I doing wrong? I don't know. Anyway, we can talk offline. I'm just flail.
Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna drink some water.
But it was a nice warm up intro too. It's just that the music
Yeah,
kept flagging.
yeah. Like it wasn't a strike. It's like, yes, this is copyright stuff. Maybe it's because I gave the credits in the video part and not in the text part. I don't know. Yeah, I'll hit you up after the stream. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But thank you so much. I really appreciate you offering to help me figure this out, because I put a lot of work into this channel and I don't want to lose it.
Don't worry, Sarah can help.
Yay! Oh, oh no, the yawn is
Oh dear.
strong. Oh, my latest short on YouTube is 21 views away from 1,000, and it's been up for 23 hours.
Okay.
It's called Bad D&D Pun, #gaming, #pun. So playing with shorts, that thing. They're like
Mhm.
sprints only for videos.
That's the one about necromancer bosses, isn't it?
Yeah, because it was funny and I
Mhm.
died laughing and I had to share it with my audience.
Fortunately, there was a necromancer nearby. Unfortunately, you're now working for him for the rest of eternity.
I mean, maybe the necromancer die. They're not immortal, right?
That depends on whether they were raised by a different necromancer.
Yeah, it can get complicated. So let's see. Oh, Sarah said no problem. She's on vacation from day job. Nice. So it's around all week. I should do like vacations where I'm not at a con and like chill and working on my projects. But no, I have a problem.
That's what I'm doing in November.
Nice.
Yep. I'm taking the week between Veterans Day and Thanksgiving off, so I can
Nice.
bear down into NaNoWriMo. No,
Do you know what story you're working on?
no, I got to figure that one out.
Okay. Yeah. I have a stool here, which is like one of those wiggle stools, which is great.
Hmm.
Except its lowest setting is not enough for me to put my feet flat on the ground.
Oh,
So if you see me adjusting my how I'm sitting, that's because my feet are dangling and it's not great.
so you're saying you're having a little girl moment and you're not liking it?
Although I got to share, I used to work. My first job was at an amusement park, and I worked at one of the hanging coasters where the people's feet aren't on the ground and the seat is just suspended from above. And adults, everybody, when their feet don't touch, they swing their feet, which is how you end up with your seat getting kicked on airplanes, but also adults aren't used to it. And so they don't realize they're swinging their feet. And the number of times I got kicked saying, "Excuse me, I need to check your harness." And they're like, "Sure." Swing, 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 not even thinking about it. So my hack was to flip my shoe so they would kick the underside of the sole of my shoe.
Hmm.
And that would make them stop. And sometimes I would say, "Ouch." I tried to there's a height stick that's like 5 foot tall that you hold at the entrance to check kids' heights. And I tried
Hmm.
taking the stick with me and just having it diagonal so they would kick the stick instead of me. And I was told that was too aggressive.
They're the ones being violent. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. So, anyway, long story short, everyone, no matter their age, swings their feet when they can't touch the floor. Necromancer story in the works already.
Yep. This just also begs for a story about capitalist necromancers. So, uh,
Right. So, and Desdemona is going to take some nano leave as well. Awesome. And Sarah says, in a law office, it's really easy to take off when the attorney is
is
on
on vacation.
vacation. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna yawn. Oh, okay. Sorry, the yawn. It took over me. It took me over.
You possessed you.
It's a problem. It's a problem. So,
Mm.
oh, I should probably do a shout out to my newest followers. We have Kristen IRL, Margaret Pennard, Diego Luna, AF Stewart, The English Times, Travis Tavern Society, Veragod, The Fan Fictioneer Guy, Christiane Knight, Key Squared, Steven Stuff, Ali Alexis Spriggs, Jenny Hendricks, Rose Evenstar,
21.
21, sorry. SD Higgs, um, Zuko, Ty Watson, Warren Yees, and Mr. Wootastic. So that's going back a little, but thank you all for following. And I know many of you have been following me for much longer, and y'all are so appreciated. I am willing to shout into the void, but for a live stream, I don't like it. It's a lot more fun when I'm talking to people and with people. So, what is your snack of the stream today, Doc?
It is the cheese and caramel popcorn mix.
Ooh, nice.
So, got the big bag from Costco a few weeks ago and still working on it.
Nice.
But
As I said earlier, for those of you who are just showing up, I am actually at a friend's birthday party and stole the home office for a little bit to hang out with you. And what I had just before I came down here were bacon wrapped dates stuffed with
oh,
manchego cheese
those
and
sound good.
covered in sugar and baked until the sugar has caramelized and the bacon is done. I call them meat candy, and they are delicious. And
They sound delicious.
In completely unrelated news, yesterday I was told I had high cholesterol at my
Okay.
annual physical. I'm sure that is completely unrelated to how many bacon wrapped dates I had today.
Um, I would imagine it would be because usually eggs are the major source of cholesterol for people. But although I guess there are other sources of cholesterol. But oh,
Let's see. Your liver makes all the cholesterol you need, and the remainder comes from meat, poultry, and dairy products.
hmm, interesting.
Most people don't need to cut down on cholesterol that's found in food. You can still enjoy eggs and shellfish. It's more important to cut down on foods with saturated fats.
Ah,
What is high in saturated fat? Let's find out. Butter, palm oil, coconut oil, cakes, biscuits, fatty cuts of meat, bacon, cheese.
oh, well, that's just not right then.
I mean, clearly completely unrelated to the number of bacon wrapped dates I just had
Clearly, yeah,
with cheese in the middle of the dates.
yeah, because you had those after you found out you had high cholesterol.
I know. I've never had them before. So let's see. Andy says bacon wrapped dates. 4. Oh gods. I don't know what far means.
If it's anything like me, it means he wants some.
Oh, it's an admiring sound.
Mm,
Um, although apparently more often used in a more hubba hubba sense.
mm.
So thank you. Desdemona's on my side. She says the dates will balance out all the bad stuff.
Because dates are fruit, and fruit's good for you.
Exactly. It's high in fiber. Fiber is good, right?
Mhm.
So, anyway, what do you say about another sprint?
Oh, I say another sprint's probably a good idea because I need to refresh my hydration.
Do it, do it, do it, do it.
Uh,
Okay, so let's see. Bum, 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 bum. We
so
can't get copyright because I'm not that good of a singer. Right? That's how it works. You have to be really close to the actual
I would
sound
think so.
for
Yes.
excellent.
Mm,
So me like losing the tempo, randomly
yep.
switching keys, totally good. That's my story and I'm sticking with it. So,
Hmm.
okay, let's go ahead and get started. Timer is reset. And let's see if I can finish chapter in 3, 2, 1. Boom, chaka laka laka laka. Now I want chocolate.
Is it that bad? No. Oh, Morgan? Did you hear the timer? Okay. I think she's okay. I just think she's really concentrating on what she's writing. She hasn't realized the timer expired. It's the chair. I blame the chair. Okay.
Sorry. How long ago did that go off?
Oh, about a
I
minute or
took off
so.
my headset.
That would have done it.
Really? Just a minute or two?
Yeah.
Okay. I
It
went
was
to get
somewhat.
the new chair so my feet could touch the ground
Yeah,
and
we
totally
got that.
forgot the headset was off.
But it was kind of interesting in terms of seeing it's like, oh, the facial expressions that you make when you're thinking about something. It's
Oh,
like
well, thank
I
you
guess
all for being patient.
I could have watched old episodes just for that, but it's like usually when the sprints come up and I'm doing a rewatch, I'm like doing something. I'm actually sprinting. I'm doing something else, like I'm supposed to. Um,
Oh, yeah, no,
but it
I
was
stole a
just.
chair.
Oh, I don't blame you at all for stealing a chair in order to have proper back support and have your feet touch the floor like an adult person. Uh, but
Oh, sorry. Thank y'all for being patient. Let
yep.
me pop into the comments. Everybody's like, "Are you okay?" She didn't hear the alarm. That's gotta be it. "Are you okay? Hello? So comfy the world is gone." I was in the zone. In
She
the
was in the zone.
zone. Extreme sprinting. All the sprints. Oh, so, let's see. Jacob is watching Chelsea, I Am from Ruby. I don't know. Um, enjoying the Kraken. And oh, he caught the teenage Kraken, tied him up, and ate him. Oh my goodness. So brave. Go, Jacob.
Mhm.
So, how was your
That was it.
sprint?
My sprint was apparently not nearly as focused as yours was, but I did make better progress on stuff and ran into the fact that I ran into a note from my editor on the difference between the English and the American spelling of color, because I had done it correctly for the rank color sergeant, and then I said to myself, I should search my entire manuscript to see if I've used color incorrectly elsewhere, and it's like pale color, colorful, uh, all over the place. It's like, okay, let's just do a global replace on that.
You might just wanna look for all OUs or
No,
OURs at least.
the problem was
Do
I
you
had
do it
left
with
the U
honor?
out.
Do you do it with color?
Yeah, I should probably make up a list.
I definitely do enjoy the British spelling for many things, I believe, which is American Gray is with the A and British is with the E.
I don't think that's consistent in any particular way, but um,
Gray with an A is more common in the US, while gray with an E is more common in other English speaking
yeah, they're
places. Proper names like Earl Grey is EY.
they're
So
both right,
I
but
definitely
they tend to sway one way or the other. But
yeah. I prefer the E to the A. Desdemona said she read about A, but sees far more use of E. Yeah. Maybe it's because we think it's more pretentious. I don't know, but I like. I guess when I say it more with an A, but I like spelling it with an E.
see, I would tend to use gray for a color, with gray with the A as the color, and gray with the E for a mood. But that's me.
Mm,
So
okay, okay.
I know I've there have been times where I've thought about these rules, and I'm sure I've come to a decision on them and then promptly forgotten about it.
Right?
Yeah.
So I got back to where I left off rather than backtracking to see if the previous chapters. I figured
Mhm.
out the transition to make it way more authentic, seeing whereas I just come from somewhere else. So it's a much more
Mhm.
natural entrance to this. And I got like 530, about two, two, 2 pages in, maybe a little more into this new chapter. So this is when she finds out her mom has betrayed them all
The fiend. No.
in more, in even more ways than kicking her cousin out of the family and destroying her marriage. She spoilers.
Yep.
So very exciting part. How was everybody else's sprint? Desdemona told us. Wordsmith Sarah let us know that Jacob is watching or is hoping to watch soon the Ruby Gilman movie at the theater, The Teenage Kraken. So let's see. Oh, Desdemona finished her chapter. It's one where one of the characters is kidnapped as a child, and the last line kills her, but she has to push down the emotions so she can edit. Oh my gosh, that's intense. So intense.
I would say it must be a
So,
good last line if it's causing all
right?
the emotion. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. While I was ignoring y'all and sprinting, I shared a line that I was leaving in during this round of edits. Another round of hugs, and then the door closed with all the chaotic energy of the 3-year-old on the outside.
Yeah.
If anyone's ever had a 3-year-old over and then had the 3-year-old leave, I don't know about you, but I know exactly what that feels like.
It's that quiet
So,
that drop. Bye,
yeah.
Maggie.
Maggie's gonna head out. Thanks for coming, Mama Maggie. So let's see. Andy got 300 words without even being focused because he's a punk like that. I mean, he's a very dedicated and focused writer who I aspire to be someday.
That's why she calls him a punk. No.
Uh, hey, I call myself a punk sometimes, so you
Yep.
know. Desdemona. Oh, here's the quote. Do you want me to carry you? Yes, she said without even thinking about it. She could sleep. A little nap on his shoulder. Then she could find her mother and ask to go home. So, aw, thank you for sharing your line with us. Did you want to share a line, Doc? Totally different mood, I'm sure.
Totally different mood, I'm sure. Yes. Yeah, the best I've got to give you is that one. Uh and wait for it. There we go.
Do you want me to read it or you got it?
We're working at cross purposes here. We're both still there we go. Sergeant Banks shook his head. There's going to be hell to pay when some of these knobs see what happened to their high-priced rides. This is right after the kids were attacked, and apparently they were not
Ooh.
good to the vehicles in the parking lot.
So I don't know whose side Sergeant Banks is on, but I believe the knobs would be great aunt whatever's guests
Yeah.
at the party.
Yep.
Okay. So let's
Hey,
see.
he's
Andy says, go ahead.
DFD punks represent. I'm a poor suburban poser compared to some cranking out 1.5 thousand words in an hour.
Oh, I had a friend, bless his heart, who was playing a Buffy game, and he was supposed to be like a Spike-esque character, and he was like, "Yeah, punk rock." And I was like, eh or eh, but not eh.
Yeah.
For those who are listening and not watching, he held up
Yeah.
2 peace signs, and I'm like, "Okay, if you're British, you can flip those. If you're not, fold in your fingers and give us the horns, but you don't
Mhm.
say."
Yeah. Punk rock is not real
Not
into
peace
peace,
signs.
love, and understanding, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, maybe there are some songs, they have a full spectrum of subjects and stuff, but yeah, no. No.
Peace, love, and headbanging. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Andy said, "Oh, that's so precious." I know, that's why I blessed his heart, and in that way, not in the bless his heart. There was no teeth sucking on that bless your heart.
Oh.
Oh, Jacob says, Flynn Rider, the true expose. She just kidnapped me with a lot of hair and tied me up with a lot of hair. I mean,
Okay.
that does actually, by the end of Tangled, not so much.
That puts a
She gets
whole
a
different spin on
haircut.
the story. Yeah. Uh, Anywho. Oh. From an undisclosed location.
So, are we thinking another sprint?
Considering it's like 3 minutes till 6, that we
And we're
like
going till
probably
6:30.
yeah.
Seems
So we
seems
we
about right.
we have time for like another sprint. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
uh,
Okay, let's do it.
give us a lovely 10 minutes for outro.
Ooh,
This like fits in with the schedule and everything.
what craziness! Oh wait, let's switch sides. Haha. So, you ready to get started?
Oh, I guess I
Two,
should be.
three, 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 two, one. Boom, chaka laka laka. Whoops.
Whoopsie.
There we go. I minimized the screen, and sometimes that makes the numbers go away.
No,
Wait,
the
it
numbers are right above
didn't?
your head.
Give me a second. I can now minimize the window and still have the counter going.
Dun dun
That's
dun.
exciting. Okay, actually working now.
Time's a wasting.
And we're back. Oh, how is your stream, Sprint? We're still streaming.
It was a nice stream. Still going on. Um, well, I finished the scene I was working on and started into the next one. So
Nice.
that's good progress.
Yay.
Um, I know coming on to a note from my editor where it's like my character is thinking about something he expects will happen in the future, and she complains that I've switched from past tense to future tense, and it's like it
You are
hasn't
not
happened
reading
yet.
closely. You're not tracking, clearly.
Yeah,
So I finished the chapter and started on the next one, and that puts me less than 50 pages from the end. Is that true? Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm on page 315 out of 360.
nice.
Sorry, 361. It grew.
Mm.
But still less than 50 from the end.
They
This
always grow.
milestone. Yeah.
My manuscript is up over 107,000 words. So.
Yeah. Mine isn't growing as much as it normally does. I don't know what's going on, but I do have an argument to add, so it very well might soon. So let's see.
You look confused.
Yeah, I'd already apparently put a word count down for that chapter. And it wasn't the same word count that I was coming up with right now. So I was like, is this the right chapter? Did I add another one? No. We're good. We're good.
Okay.
I just need it to, yeah. So the current chapter we're on, I'm going to need to do a lot of revising. So that's going to be a long session, but finally got the cousin story on track. I'm very excited. Very happy for that. So let me pop into the comments. Hello, Kristen. Just finished their walk in Espanol and made themselves a Hojito latte and is now ready to join in for a few palms of language study, not writing, if that's okay. Oh, yeah, no. This is a lazy Sunday afternoon stream. Some people use streams for folding laundry, some people use them for writing, and some people just eat snacks.
Yep.
I read a book last week.
Sometimes for putting away groceries. So
sometimes for putting away groceries.
language
Sometimes.
language study is fine.
Oh yeah.
Number of pomodoros left in the stream is a problem.
Sorry, I'm actually coming to you live from not my house. And as soon as the stream is over, I'm going back to a friend's birthday party, which is upstairs.
Yep.
So, but I did make progress, and I don't think at least if I'm skipping out on party, I'm not doing it to not do anything. So I'm feeling pretty productive.
But we're here just about every Sunday, so see you next week.
Yeah. We start at 4:30 Eastern and we go 2 hours until 6:30 Eastern Standard Time in the US. So Andy got another 315 words because he is steady as, what's a steady thing? Rain? Rice? I don't remember. And he needs to get working on the veggies for dinner.
He's as steady as bedrock.
Sure, we'll go with that one. Desdemona got through more than 600 words on the edit. Awesome.
Nice.
So, let's see. Desdemona says, mine grow as well, I believe, talking about chapters. If anyone makes me trim it, I'm going to cry. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So,
Every time I go
Oh,
through
ooh.
editing, I'm always trying to trim, and yet half the time I end up with more words than I started with.
Yeah, I am a little worried that my story is on the short side. It was 91K. I just saw that it's up to 94. I think it's going to be about 95 when I finish. But it's a space fantasy with 3 points of view. So it needs to be over 80,000 to be like a fantasy in the first place. And to have 3 point of view characters, this is lean. It's very lean.
Yep.
So
I,
I
I,
hope people don't think it's too abrupt.
I don't think that's a firm rule as to has to be over 80,000 words to be a fantasy, but
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
decent rule of thumb. So
Right.
you're at least in a
Generally,
healthy range.
yeah, generally if it's under 80, the world building is sparse or the character something is sparse because you need usually about, more words than a contemporary to set the scene and the world and the history and all that stuff. So, and typically when you add point of view characters, you add more story. So, some people say it's between 10 and 20,000 words for each additional view. Not like that character has that many words, but the story in general just gets that much more complex. Um, but yeah, I'm glad I'm over 91. I think I'll be okay at 95. It's a little lean, but not excessively, I think, at that point. I feel better at 95 than 90. Doc, thoughts?
Hmm. No, 95 is a good length.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I like, if it was single point of view, I'd have been fine at 90, but I was feeling a little uncomfortable with 3 points of view and only 90,000.
and you're at the point where you're going to query this out. So at some point,
I think so.
an editor is going to get involved, and they'll have a
Yeah,
different viewpoint to come back and tell you you need more detail here on this, more detail
yeah,
there on that.
yeah.
So,
I'm one of those people who really enjoys delving into why the character is doing stuff and what are they feeling, and I don't really care what's going on in the room. So, I
all the
mean,
rooms fade to white, and the
I
creatures
think
will
like
stand.
80% of like the physical descriptions are, her stomach churned with guilt or, you know, she's breathing to stop herself from having a panic attack. You know, it's all
Mhm.
physical reactions to the emotional response and maybe not so much to like what's there. So, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully people will like it. I really like my story and I think it's coming together really well. So,
Cool.
so
Oh.
we what about your story? How's everybody else coming along? Did we hear from everybody? I think so.
So we had Andy say he got 350 words. Desdemona got through more than 600 edits.
Kristen
Uh,
was walking and studying Spanish.
Spanish.
So, okay.
Okay.
Then let's go ahead and give our outros and I'm going to go back back to the party. I suppose if I'm whispering I should whisper over the microphone, not under the microphone. Hey. So,
All right.
tell
I
tell
am
people.
Doc. I am Doc Coleman. I write about mad science, manners, and mayhem. If you'd like to find out more about my writing, go to your favorite search engine and search on Doc Coleman Steampunk, and that will allow you to find my website at doccoleman.com, where you can complain about the fact that it hasn't been updated in a while and needs some work. You can also find uh, my author page over on Amazon, where you can look at samples of my work, and if you like it, you can buy it.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Okay, and
And
I'm your oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. You got more?
and
And there's more?
and there's one more thing. And if you're going to be in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, a month from now on the weekend of the 11th through the 13th, I will be at Key City Steampunk, and I will have my books for sale. And you can come and see me, buy books, and I will sign them.
Ooh.
Now I'm done.
Ah. Okay.
All right.
So I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood, and I am an actively queering fantasy author, and I blog, vlog, and podcast, writing tips from the pros, from writing conventions, and of course, my own writerly musings. And whoops, 2 seconds. Ba-ba-ba. This week on my podcast, I had the trailer. I'm about to launch season 7 dun, 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 of writing tips and writerly musings wherever you get your podcasts. And next weekend, Sako and I will be coming to you live from Imaginarium Convention in Louisville, Kentucky. I will be talking about, what will I be talking about? Let's ask the internet. I will be talking about have streaming platforms helped or hurt the industry, attractive blogging, and the benefits of NaNoWriMo. 3 things I think I can talk a lot about. And this week on the blog post and the YouTube channel, you can find writing for different audiences, my notes from the titular Balticon 57 panel, when you write picture books and YA and adult stuff, how are the processes similar and how are they different? This week's author spotlight interview guest was J.D. Ruffin, who writes fantasy, I guess, epics series. They're series. And yeah, you can find me everywhere as Morgan Hazelwood, including TikTok, Twitch, where whatever you're on, except Twitter, which A is a dumpster fire, and B, I'm Morgan Hazelwood there. But thank you all for coming out. I hope you have a great week, and we'll be back next week. Doc holding down the home fort. This year, Sako and I will be at the convention, not driving during the stream.
Ooh, staying a
Because
little
we
bit
didn't
late
want to
this
get
year, huh?
homes. Yeah, we're coming back Monday instead, so we're not
Okay.
driving quite so late. So have a great week. Good luck with your writing projects, your language learning projects, and your snacking. And see you later. Bye bye.